call to order the July 26, 2016 meeting of the Tilton Planning Board. And our first order of business is to review the June 28, 2016 minutes.
It's August 9th.
Oh, August 9th, yeah. What about August 9th?
And you said
July 26th.
you were calling to
Oh.
order the July 26th.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm looking at
Yeah.
the old minutes of August 9th.
Sorry.
We were talking about time flying. I'm thinking of
I got to thank you. I didn't want to knock your head. Mine.
Go ahead.
Sorry. You haven't heard anything from Mr. McCord yet?
No. No. Had a conversation with Joyce. I haven't. No.
I thought we would, that's all I was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
You want to hear what? Christine, you want to hear?
Make a motion to accept the minutes of July 26th, 2016 as is.
To a second? I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
I decline to vote. I was here.
Okay. So we have two abstentions, one decline, one abstention. Okay. All right, our next order of business is Planning Board Case 16-07, the subdivision lot line adjustment, and in conjunction with that, Planning Board Case 16-08. Before we get started on that, I had asked Dari earlier in the week to get me a copy of the site plan review for the existing business, and there, we can find none all, which is something that's necessary for us to move forward with this. Can you explain why there's nothing on file of the site plan review for your existing business?
It predates.
Say that again, my hearing is very good.
We can't locate the site plan review for Tilton Trailer as it exists today.
Probably never was one, because we've been there so many years, we've been there.
But I think you were at what, 1989? Is that when you went
No,
in?
well, way before that. yeah.
Nora, you have those dates, I believe, when the business was established.
69, we came up here. Well,
And when was
we
it?
were-
We had zoning before that.
I think site plan review came in the earlier 1960s. I can double check.
I think it was 64, 65, but that's important.
I think we were there before the site plan,
Before 64, 65?
and we came up here in 60, it was early 60s when we started. 'Cause I know this came up before, and they checked it out, and it was prior to the site plan requirements.
Yeah, I don't know. I can check the date. Again, this is sort of just, I know I looked at the Tilton Trailer Rental website, and it said the business started in 1989. I don't know what that, I don't know how that figures in or factors in.
Because that's something really important. I mean, we really do need if 1989 is when you're saying you officially went business, we do need that site plan. Did you keep a copy of any of that?
That goes back a long ways. I know the issue came up before, and when they checked it out, it was before the site plan was required, and we didn't have it, and they didn't pursue it because we were there prior to that being a requirement of the town. And I tell you who I was involved with that was Joe Plessner. I was involved with that with Joe Plessner, and he pursued that, checked it out, and said, you don't need that. Handling that activity for the town.
So Joe was here in the 1960s? Joe worked here in the 1960s?
Let's see, trying to think. Go back a long time now.
I don't think he did. I'm not.
No, it came up, I thought it was in the 80s or 90s, it came up with a question, and I do remember there was a discussion, and we started to work, and then they said, no, it's not required. So it was not done. But I would say that was one
But you were already there.
we were already going, we were operating, somebody questioned the site plan.
Somebody questioned it,
Yeah,
and
and
Joe
then they said,
Plessner
no,
got
we
ahold
don't
of me.
need it. Yeah,
And
Joe
it went back prior to that was not a town requirement when we started up.
You were in business on the site.
We were already working,
Okay.
but somebody questioned the site plan requirement, I don't know what it had to do with, but for some reason. And I think he came to meetings here
Do we have
and said,
meetings
no,
with
it's not
planning
required.
board next?
I mean, we could do some searching. I don't know how realistic it is. I mean, we could call recess. I could do some research based on, I guess one thing, I could quickly look and see when site plan review was adopted.
Okay.
And then I suppose if,
And it could be on Catherine, I see, has the assessment folder. See what it says.
I have 12/07/1989. Which card is this? Vision or Avatar? I guess it doesn't matter. But there's no indication on here that a business is being conducted. This is,
Yeah, because here it says 1984, house was removed in September 1983. So I assume that's,
let's see if we can find this one.
Joe's still active.
This
in
is,
town,
yeah,
right?
this is
Joe
just a
Plessner?
duplicate.
Yeah, because he's the person that worked with and dealt with this issue with him. And,
this is card two.
Did you come to a planning board meeting?
no, because it was, we were here prior to the site plan being required. So we were grandfathered in.
Mm-hmm.
There's
And
nothing.
that was a final determination by Joe,
Yeah,
so
because
we
this
never
is-
had to
this is
pursue it
Tilton
any further.
Realty Trust is the owner.
Right, but the card would describe, see, this
And
card here.
It's got barn.
So this
shed.
is 2010, it describes Tilton trailer rental. Boxes, sailing trays, storage containers. So it describes
yeah.
it in 2010.
Yeah, like here it's got sheds and barns, it's got.
Right.
It's got
So
How
no,
far
we-
back do they go though, this way?
That's 1989, and it doesn't show up that there's any storage trailers on the site.
Yeah, it's got
2010 one
1999.
says.
There's 2008 Tilton trailer rental, storage containers. And this is Avatar, and that's Avatar, so.
Yeah. it's pretty
This is
much
your
cut and dry
tax
here, you get a-
assessment records that show what building is
Yeah,
on there.
it's got a little
2007
diagram.
shows
Barnes. Barnes on 512, we were at 505 at that time.
It shows that there was another business there. in 2008 show and go cycles.
That's 512.
Was that our site plan? Here's 2010 with Shield World.
All right, so.
So I guess what we need to do is we do need a site plan review for that property.
Well, this is a separate property.
I know, but but the subdivision involves that property.
No one does,
Does not?
does not.
Well, you're
This is
asking to
completely-
expand an illegal use onto another property.
No, we're asking to use this property for a use that we have a special exception for.
For storage containers, right? And that business hasn't been site planned. You can't expand a business that,
And this is a new one, then. It's a new lot, it's a new parcel. Why can't it
That's
be
not-
It's not a new
can't it
business
be-
though, that's, I think.
yeah, it's a
That's the
continuation
concern.
of the existing business.
So,
It's an
what you're asking
expansion.
for is very, very expensive, so he's not doing anything on those lots at all, that he hasn't been doing for the last 27 years. So we haven't surveyed any of those lots, and nothing to do with this lot that we're working on today. We went to the zoning board for this lot, got a special exception for this use. And this is a standalone use with the exception of the trucks are coming and pick up the trailer. That's about it. It's a completely separate lot, it's not part of the other lots.
So it seems to me that, based on what we're hearing, if they've been in business for 27, 30, even 40 years would put it past the point where site plan review became a requirement in the town, I believe, yeah. Then, while it may be expensive, it's a cost that, you know, it was a requirement then, it's a requirement now, it's the same, maybe it's more expensive now than it would have been back then, but I believe, you know, there's no, you know, nothing indicating that a property that was supposed to undergo site plan review that did not becomes, you know, vested or yeah, it's.
We were grandfathered in because, you know, when Joe Plessner went through all this, and when he looked it up, he said, no, you're grandfathered in because you were here before there was any site plan review required. So it ended right there.
Well, that,
Joe Plessner, he was in charge of zoning at the time.
He
Yeah,
was
we
the
do as a
code
code
enforcement
enforcement
officer.
officer.
And legally, and there is a ruling, it's even in our book that we use for everything, that even if the code enforcement officer says you can do something, and it's something that is illegal or incorrect, it's, the onus is still on the property owner to carry through on their responsibility. So I believe at that time, and I don't know, this is something we'd have to check, I believe he was the code enforcement officer, was he not?
at what time? I mean, he's been, he served as a code enforcement officer for some number of years. I'm thinking, if this is an expansion of that business, there's probably some logic pointing, you know, it may be logical to just do a site plan review for the entire business so that everything has been reviewed. However, you know, Mr. Bernier is saying, well, this is a different lot. It's, you know, a special exception was obtained to conduct a business on this property. I suppose the board could look at going that direction. However, I don't know how much it benefits the applicant, because the applicant then has, you know, it's been publicly recognized that, or publicly brought up, maybe, you know, maybe there's some more research that still needs to be done, but that the business that stands there now did not obtain site plan review approval. So I don't know how beneficial it would be to either party or to any party to divide them up, when in reality it is an expansion of that business, but.
Well, they were very
In
concerned.
either respect, there has to be a site plan review.
You were very concerned about what we were gonna do here, and as it being different than what we're doing on the other site. And this parcel is totally separate from the land that we now own. And there we do mini rental, and it's mini rental site, we'll continue to do that on the existing site. This purchase that we made is totally separate. It's a total separate parcel. We come in, get approval to do storage, office, and box trailers on that site. We've spent a lot of money. We've got all the documentation, this has gone all through the reviews and everything, and I've got a lot of money invested right now, and I'm not about to start all over again. I mean, we've been in this town a long time, and, you know, we work with
No,
you
we
people.
understand- we
and,
understand
you know,
that.
I don't wanna go through that expense, because I've spent a lot of money already. And this should not be required, because we got approved at the last meeting. And you about talked with Joe, I went through this before,
We haven't
and, you know,
been-
he was in charge, and he said, look, you guys are grandfather, you're okay. We go to the last board meeting, they approve it, now we come in, we spend all this money, now you wanna start over again, and spend a
No,
lot
no,
of
I
money.
just wanna make sure
That's
that, I
unreasonable.
just wanna make sure that what we're doing is
Well-
in your best interest and in the
Well,
town's.
no, I don't, that's not in our best interest to start all over again. We've already spent a lot of money here. It's not cheap. And we've done
understand-
everything
we
we're supposed to
understand
do, and I expect to get approved and move forward.
The request that we have tonight is from Tilton Trailer Rental. That's the business that we have no record of a site plan review. There are no meeting minutes of any site plan taking place. Our property record file shows that this business
I think the
wasn't
appropriate-
there in 1989. There's no record on our cards that any storage trailers were on site.
There were
So-
trailers way before that.
There were no according to our we have to go by what we have. And what we have shows that that business didn't exist in 1989.
We'll go back
So-
to see Joe Presley. He handled this, and talk to Joe. That's why I asked you.
We have to go
I
by
asked
our
you-
records,
Well,
not
Joe
by
was,
hearsay.
Joe was the town.
We don't go by hearsay, we go by
Well-
paper records.
I mean, I don't know.
In 27 years, how come no one filed a cease and desist order?
I don't know, that's a good
I
question.
mean, I know nothing about his
No, I
existing
don't.
business because I have never approached this project as an expansion of that business. This is a separate lot, with a separate driveway, with a separate sign, and it's completely autonomous. A corporation can own multiple businesses. A corporation is no different than a person. So we never even really gave the existing facility much thought. We focused on what was gonna take place on this site.
And I understand that. Sorry, you,
No, I was, sorry, I was moving like I was gonna say something. I mean, I guess the only thing I'd say is reiterate, you know, I suppose the possibility exists to move forward tonight and treat this as a new business. Now,
That's not how it was presented to us in these applications.
I understand, I just.
And on
And on the
okay,
plan.
and on the
Okay.
plan.
Yeah.
This one says Ellen Valeri.
It's a different activity that we do on the other side.
Which plan is the new lot? Kim, do we know that, which one? of
Lot
these is-
7.
Lot 7.
Yeah.
So lot 7 says it's Tilton Trail.
this shows 70, yeah.
It's 7. Yeah, this one says 7.
We never said it was an extension of this use. It says, in our cover letter, it says, the original boundary line 7 will be abandoned. We are also submitting a site plan for a newly created lot 7 showing the area where portable storage and trailer containers will be placed. We are also requesting approval for consumer.
That's the same activity that's taking place on lot 9.
It's a new activity for this lot.
But that's still an expansion of an illegal business for the town of Tilton.
No, that would be on the same lot. You can't expand this, a
Excuse
new
me?
business on a new lot.
Of course you can, because you come before us to get a subdivision in order to do that, right?
No. If we were merging this with that lot, we're not. This is an existing lot of record that we're making bigger, but it's not an expansion of the lot that use is on.
I think we should postpone this and let our other members know what's going on
Yeah,
and do some very, I don't know what more research. There's no record of site plan in the building, there's no record of minutes. I did send an email out to the assessor to see if she had anything predated 1989, but as she said and I said, and it's right here, the 1989 card does not reveal that this business existed there.
Our next meeting is,
Sorry, I have it in front of me.
how does the board feel about continuing? If we don't have the information we need?
I tend to agree at this point.
I think we need to be careful.
But it's much more information about that history.
Exactly.
So
This is
we need
easy.
to collect more data, more information, talk to the people who are on that period of time. Talk to the assessor, because she's the one that makes up the cards. Dari's gonna do research on when the town voted for the site plan. And our next meeting, continue it until the next meeting, which is
September 13th would be,
September 13th.
I guess, 6:30.
And this is really to protect everybody.
Making it very difficult, and it's not necessary.
Isn't the purpose of submitting the plans a couple weeks ahead of time so that you can get the information?
Yeah, I mean, certainly,
So
we're,
nobody did any good with it.
I've been researching it for 2 weeks.
but,
I
I mean,
was not in the 2 weeks prior, but I've been researching this since I came back.
and I guess, if I may, I would add what, I don't see the harm in bringing it up at a meeting. You know, it's something that was discovered, as far as we can tell, you know, there's a commercial property that hasn't undergone site plan review needs to undergo a site plan review. I mean, we're not doing anything, or I shouldn't say we, to me, the board doesn't seem to be doing anything other than assisting the applicant with coming into compliance. And certainly, you know, the applicant could have been notified at a different time, but I don't see any harm in sharing that information at this point.
Okay. So we'll continue it until the next meeting. Okay, is everybody in favor?
I am.
Yes.
See you on the 13th.
Okay. Sorry for any inconvenience.
Okay.
Thank you.
Work just brought out a point, it was under my name until we incorporated, it was under Dan J. Bardero. Prior to that.
Social security number as a business until we sold all the controls. Then it was incorporated as a separate business. And that was due.
I can only tell you what the property record card show, this one shows, and we go by map and lot number.
Right.
It was
It's
the
filed-
Tilton Realty Trust, Care Quality Control, Post Office Box 228, Tilton, New Hampshire. There's absolutely nothing on here about storage trailers. Nothing.
In the nineties?
This is 1989.
Well, that's about when it started, so there have only been a couple. It varies.
Well, we've had site plan zoning since the early 60s.
But I'm just saying, in terms of, you're saying it not existing, it didn't, Tilton Trailer Rental did not exist as a company until 2000. It existed as a business under the
And when did it start? Like,
89,
okay.
89, it started with 3 or 4 trailers, literally.
Like your website said, yeah.
Yeah, it started with nothing, and it
Grew
slowly
gradually.
grew. And it wasn't until we sold all these controls that really, and then we incorporated, et cetera. The trucking business was in the trucking.
If there's any paperwork you have, I don't remember. We have none.
We know a site plan review was not. We were told it wasn't required. so
Oh,
it's not.
yeah.
We're not gonna find one, we know we don't have one.
Right.
and I can see, and I'll certainly
That's the
research to try and find out why you were
Why it
told
was
that,
allowed,
you know,
right.
and
Because it was a
there
big
may,
issue.
the answer may lie in, you know, maybe a call to Joe Pleasant that thing.
We were grandfathered in because we were on this site doing trailers before that had become a requirement. If you,
But they're saying.
before site plan was required.
Yeah, but the issue with that, I understand what you're
We
saying.
were grandfathered in, and we were doing this before a site plan was required, and that way we didn't have to do it. That is what happened. Now, the exact dates and numbers, you know, it goes back a long time.
And I
As you
think
get older, your memory gets worse, not better.
that's where the problem lies. You know, site plan review's been required since sometime in the 1960s, so there, you know, whether someone made a mistake
There's
or.
nobody here complaining, there's no neighbors complaining.
I know,
We're making a
it's
hard-
really,
I
it's a
didn't
matter
expect to get all
of, it's
this
a matter
resistance.
of, it's
I'm
a,
about ready to give up, I'm about ready to just give up.
it's a matter of obeying
You
the
know,
laws that,
you know.
that this board is
Well,
required.
yeah,
to
and if
obey.
you're grandfathered in, you're not required a site plan.
Right, if you're grandfathered in.
And we were
Right. But
grandfathered in.
You can't obtain grandfathered status, by sneaking under the wire on something. I'm not saying
not
you
sneaking under the
snuck,
wire.
I'm not, excuse me, I'm not saying you
No,
were,
no,
you were
wait a
being
minute,
sneaky.
Don't say that, no, 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 I
I-
don't buy that. We had trailers there, Joe was there, and that happened before site plan was required.
Okay, but that would mean you started in the 1960s or earlier,
We
and
did,
you've
we
said.
way back, I mean, I'm not sure the exact date. We're
Okay,
talking
I
about-
know you've said during this meeting, or it's been presented during this meeting, that you opened maybe in the late 80s or early 90s.
I didn't say, it, my wife did, but we were doing this in a small scale.
Okay,
Well,
well,
when we come up originally, what's it, 63, I mean, it was in the 60s.
yeah, well,
1980.
I mean, I
79
think
or
of
80, I know.
79, maybe 79?
79 or 80, but not
so,
the 60s.
so if that's the case, then site plan review is required, and for whatever reason, you were told that you don't need site plan review. That doesn't, as, you know, case law indicates that that doesn't necessarily wash it away. And for this board to do its job and fulfill its duty to the town of Tilton, it can't just turn a blind eye. They can't do that. If they did that, they would not be adhering to the laws that they have been charged with enforcing. It's as simple as that.
So we'll see what we can find out, if you have any information that would help us. Okay. And we'll see you. We're sorry that,
Yeah, and I may have notes
okay.
from the, because there were meetings with I thought we were getting
Okay. Thank you.
very much.
Thank you. All right, so we report.
No. All right.
It appears that at one point there might have been a gas station down there.
I thought it's all connected with Breakstone too, isn't it? Wasn't that
That's
the-
across the street.
But they're all owned by the same?
Yeah, they ought to be there, but on this particular lot, there were gas stations there sometime.
Okay, you're gonna research when,
I will, and the comment about, the 2 weeks in advance, I have to say that, it's on the applicant to have everything in order. And the fact that we chose this public meeting as the time to mention that, I think is very appropriate, and I guess I don't know, I would welcome feedback on that, but I feel that a lot of the time when we discover these things 1 or 2 days before a meeting and start making phone calls, it only serves to confuse the matter.
yes,
And
it
I
doesn't-
wind up
and the
getting-
right thing doesn't get done.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think for the board, the board would look at, in our little local land use planning, if you look at 674 colon, I think it starts at like 33 and so on and so forth. It spells out in here that even if a code enforcement officer tells you something, and that's incorrect, the onus is on you as the property owner being compliant, not the code enforcement
Right, and
officer.
we can't take hearsay.
Exactly.
It's just his word.
Exactly. Because
And
it's,
the
for all
other point
intents and
about,
purposes,
thank
this
you,
is a court of law.
the other point about bringing stuff up, I mean, too difficult to do over the phone, something like this.
No, you can't, because it's basically the court of, it's
Well,
a
the
hearing.
members of the planning board needed to hear this and see what evidence we have.
And have it on
Otherwise-
record as well.
Right, so it shouldn't be done over the phone.
No.
It should be done here, so all the
And
members of the
that's what a
planning
hearing
board
is.
can weigh all the information, make a decision.
Right, I don't think it cost them anything. I mean, it wasn't gonna be the same cost either way. They weren't gonna have the information and not come in, or we.
And I think it
benefited
became
us.
obvious that they did know that they did not do a site plan.
Yeah.
Well, quite frankly, they could be closed down. The code
We
enforcement
should-
officer could go over there and issue a cease and desist, but we haven't.
Yeah, I think it would save this paper.
We should make sure that we're
Probably.
talking just generally now,
Yeah.
not deliberating this particular case.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We had no other,
No,
oh,
all in favor?
second.
Right?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so be it.
So is this
Still the
just
shortest
for
meeting
reading
on record.
material?
Well,
Karen?
What's that?
we do,
Reading
all right.
materials?
Yeah, it's relating to grandfather. He brought up grandfathered a number of
Oh,
times,
okay.
and I think the reason that's an excellent lecture. I mean,
Good night,
it comes up so much. I bet you I pull that video out once a month.
And this actually is very good too, if you.
Yeah, the very long one, he cites a lot of case law.
Yeah.
And it talks, specifically the reason it came up today is that it talks about these instances where something, a business or whatever is underway, open, they're, and they say, we've been doing this for 25 years.
Yeah.
And in fact, the courts have said that means nothing. That if something was opened illegally, it's illegal. It doesn't matter how long they get away with it.
Of course, that's common sense, yeah.
Now, how far back does the online assessing go? You know? Vision's online,
Oh, we haven't done it
It's very
available
obvious
online.
that they
Oh,
started
very
business
long.
in 1989.
The card, the files.
Yeah,
And
like
then
tax
it's all
cards.
white.
Yeah, and we've gone in my
Are
tenure.
we-
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
We've
done.
gone from Avatar Division to Avatar as assessors. So somewhere in the middle, we have vision, which is kind of interesting.
Avatar's on.